Yeah. All right. Happy Friday, everyone. We're here with episode 2 of Braves Ball 4 podcast. We're still learning. We're still getting by our loops here and there. So thank you everyone for tuning in to our episode 2. I'm Gus Rico. Okay, Braves Baseball Academy. We got
myself, Coach Lira, again here. Welcome to the second episode of the Ball 4 podcast. We're getting there. We're doing our little things to upgrade every episode. And here to my right, we got to let the guy introduce himself right here.
D.
Go
ahead. We got Armando Gomez here in the middle. Longtime San Fernando legend, San Fernando High School baseball legend. Thank you, Mondo, for coming through. If you can tell us a little bit about your background, go ahead, Mondo.
Well, I got into coaching after I was done playing. When I hurt my shoulder, I decided I had a lot of mentors growing up, keeping me out of trouble, and they're big influences on my life. And so when I was done, I decided that, you know what, I wanted to be one of those guys that was an influence to me. And then I started being the assistant coach at Venice. Well, first, my first coaching job was at El Camino Junior College as a pitching coach. Then I went back to my alma mater at Venice High School, and that was my goal, was to build that program to what we had it as players. And I was there 5 years, and the head coach at the time, he kept saying one more year, and I got a little anxious. I was ready to do my own thing, and then I went to uni in '92. And then after that year, I just threw my name out there everywhere. I sent resumes everywhere around the valley. I got hired to like 3 or 4 different schools. So then when I went down to get processed, they didn't want to hire me because other schools that said called it in and said they hired me. So Mr. Saldivar, rest in peace, who hired me at San Fernando, had to jump through all kinds of hoops to get me hired. And I had no idea about Valley baseball other than, us growing up playing them, in playoffs and in tournaments and stuff, but the Valley baseball was all new to me.
So correct me if I'm wrong. You guys won at Venice? Did you win at Venice?
As a player,
yeah.
Back then it was 3 years of high school, so I played varsity all 3 years, and we won it all 3 years.
Damn.
Yeah, 3 years. I'm 5-0 at Dodger Stadium. I'm proud to say that.
Shout out to Venice High School out there. Man, shout out to them.
5-0. I didn't even know that. Look at
you.
None of
us do that. See that, Lira? Okay. Man, we don't even have that on our cheat sheet. Man. Yeah. So obviously we have some great names that came out of there at San Fernando High School. The good old famous Richie Valens and George Lopez. Charles White went to USC, Heisman guy. Gary Matthews. So
there's a lot of guys, and
Miguel Gomez.
Gonzalez,
sorry.
Yeah, Miguel Gonzalez. Yeah, baseball-wise. Football guys, they had a ton of guys. And not only that, a lot of alumni that became famous people, councilmen and senators and all of that. And, way back in the day was Denny Crum. Denny Crum was a PE teacher at San Fernando High School. And he was the coach of the year at Louisville. Okay. I think he won a national title at Louisville too. So there was a lot of famous people. Alex Padilla, Tony Cardenas, some of the council women. There's just
San Fernando High School.
It's pretty.
Go ahead, Lira.
I know. As a Tiger once myself. That's it's crazy. San Fernando came from a lot of things, especially being in the mecca of a lot of historic stuff back then in the days as well, in the 60s, 70s. So like you going in there in the 90s, how does it, like, over those years that you were there, how was it to be part of a historic high school like that? Like, where all these guys come from?
I felt a lot of pride, because where I came from Venice, there was a lot of pride there too, and it was community based, and so I felt like a big part of it, and so sometimes a little bit of pressure, you want to live up to that expectation, and get the kids to understand the rich tradition,
the culture of it.
Yeah, it's the second oldest high school in the valley.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of history, to let them know that they can be part of history. And a couple of our teams are part of history now, you know. So.
Right.
And then that's where it's like, you know, San Fernando sometimes get a bad name or a bad rep or whatever, but just to let them know, like, it actually comes with a lot of great historic stuff behind it. You know what I mean? And some people don't get to really want to dive in or get to know the background of it all.
Yeah.
And then once you get into, you know, coaches like Gomez, where you go out there and you be like, guys, I know the history, are proud to be a part of it.
Yeah.
You get kids that are not knowing, like, damn, now I should be part of be actually a San Fernando Tiger, you know?
Right.
And go out there and have a lot more pride than what they already had. So
go ahead.
Then that was the thing that, you know, that I instilled in our players is that from the get-go, I mean, it was hard. It was hard. My first year, you know, I came in there thinking, I'm going to turn this program around. We're going to dominate from day one, right? And everybody was like, you got to slow your roll, Gomez. You got to slow your roll. It's going to take you at least 3 years to turn it around. I said, no, we're turning it around now, you know? And we started off well. We started off 11-1, you know, my first year. And then after that, we were like 1-11 or something. But it was a tough conference back then. You know, the conference, it wasn't just league. It was the West Valley and our league combined, you know, and every game was a battle, you know.
I mean, you got through so many players that, you know, through San Fernando and you played against. I mean, you know, John Ennis, you know, Rox Arroyo at Monroe. I mean, you know,
a lot of guys.
You name it. Wow. Oh, man. So moving on, you hold the most wins as a head coach at San Fernando High School. I mean, how does that feel? How do you feel about that?
I feel honored, you know, and all of that wouldn't be attainable if I didn't have players that believed in it and that
bought into your system,
that bought into it and did what we did. You know, I mean, we won a lot of games and
because we know you have a system in place.
Yeah, people used to get hate on us, you know, and it's like the first couple of years that I was there, we had some knuckleheads, you know, and we had to turn that mentality around, you know, because once we got down, like they didn't have the confidence. It's another thing is having confidence. Yeah. They thought like once you cross a 405 on that side, that those schools were superior to. You know, I said, hey man, they go to the bathroom the same way we do. They do.
Birmingham or like
no, Birmingham. Birmingham wasn't in that talk yet, but now I got them up in there in that talk. We're
gonna get into that real quick
with a little bit of that. But the El Caminos and the Chatsworth and you know, and I enjoyed playing El Camino back then with Coach Mile because there was no nonsense. You know, after that they had a couple coaches that let their players talk nonsense, and that was never El Camino's history, you know. Right. They were always good kids and they played hard and I enjoyed playing El Camino, you know. And then even with Josh there, you know, we had some good battles, you know.
Yeah, Josh does a great job, man. I like Josh a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to him, see if you know.
Yeah, you should get him on the show.
He'll be a good one to have here.
Yeah.
We got to have thick skin to come here, man. You know, we got to put our pride aside. You can't be, you know. I mean, we all got rings here. All of us have rings, you know. Yeah. So go ahead, Lira. Take it away, man.
Going back with the culture, starting have to kind of take over a high school program and have to build in a culture. How difficult can that be? Especially if you have guys that are already there, high school guys. A lot of guys think they know it already, especially at that age. Like, how difficult is it to be going there and build a culture that you want to build?
Well, that was the difficult part of doing that.
Is this your personal question, like for you, or
no? This is
is this a Lira question?
Yeah, this is something that I thought about. You know what I mean?
That first year, that first year that we inherited, the team that we inherited that first year, there was a lot of hate towards us, you know.
Yeah.
And it's funny, we found that out years later. We didn't care, you know. We were going to do it. You're going to do it this way, or you're going to get out of this program, you know. And that was probably our toughest team.
What year was that?
96. That was the Esquedas and Cardenas and George Rocha, who was a man-child, man. And we had some players.
No BB course.
Wow.
No BB
and these guys, man, Mondo Villegas. Man. I mean, that was the challenging part, you know. And Adrian Rizzle, we had to remove a couple players from our program because they didn't follow the rules. And you know, I got a lot of slack from people, you know, teachers that said, "Hey, man, you know, that guy's been in the program this whole time." I said, "I don't care.
Yeah.
And so they went to the principal. Some teachers went behind my back to the principal, to Mr. Saldivar, and said, this is rookie coach, dumping people, and this and that, right? And Saldivar was down. He was pro athletics and ex-gangster from Van Nuys, rest in peace, Mr. Saldivar. But he had my back, and Mrs. Gary, our assistant principal in charge of athletics, she was fiery as hell too. And so they all had my back. And when I fired a coach after my first year, a coach that was there for like 18, 19 years, I got a lot of slack for that too. But it's, you have to do things, and it hurt me. And you know what? And Adrian's done a lot of work at my house now because, he works for his dad's business or whatever. He's done work at my house, and we're best of friends, And he said, you know what, Coach? At the time, I was real pissed off, because he was a player, man.
Yeah.
He was throwing 90, hitting from both sides of the plate.
Back then.
Yeah. And and I had to dump him, And, he says, man, you made me a man. And so that's the thing. You know what? We know that every player is not going to get to the next level or get to the big leagues or whatever, but you got to form them to be responsible, to be a young man, a husband, a dad, everything, and responsible to be go to work.
Yeah.
And
hopefully all our listeners out there, our young athletes, are listening because this is great.
No, yeah, it's very important, So, and then inside of me, man, knowing that we kicked those guys off the team, and when we would start, and then the team kind of said, you know what, they weren't playing hard. They're like, we're going to boycott until you bring these guys back. It came something like that.
Yeah.
I said, well, we'll go 0 and whatever, or I'll bring all the JVs up, and you guys can all turn in your stuff. But this is the way we're going to go.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
And every one of those guys, I'm in contact with every one of those guys from that team still. They still reach out to me all the time.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And that's for most of my teams. They do. The younger guys still, like my last 2-3 years, not so much yet because they're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah. No, you had some some players there throughout the years. Miguel Gonzalez, Lira's brother.
David,
what was the other lefty? Pujo?
Steve Pujols, rest in peace. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I didn't even know that. I think that was my year. Man.
DJ Lewis.
Yeah.
Poncho's probably one of the best hitters I've coached.
Shout out to All American.
Street Talkers
out there. You guys do an amazing job, Ponch. Yeah, man. You had some ballers there. Go through there.
And the coach that we're not gonna name names on this thing, but the coach that I let go after that year, then tryouts. I had all the coaches and I said, look, this is what we expect. We all had our clipboards. We had all the forms that I had. And you guys are going to grade everybody. And then after we'll go in the office and we'll review it. And then that's who makes the team,
Right.
And that coach had Ponch cut. I said, he's not even good enough for freshmen. He had him cut.
Ponch? Oh, man.
Poncho, yeah, he had him cut. He's like, oh, man, that guy can't play because he came out in jeans and a jacked up glove and tennis shoes. I said, so he can't help you at the JV level? And he goes, no, not even at the freshman level. I said, okay, I'm going to take him on varsity then. He started on varsity as a freshman.
Wow. That's crazy.
Man.
So, yeah, it's just, it takes, you got to learn. I can see a kid walk and know if he's a player or not, just the way he walks.
Yeah.
And you guys been around, you guys been doing it a little bit now, so
Yeah.
you guys understand that too, But to turn a kid like that and not even give him a chance.
Right.
And then I take him on varsity and he starts. And the other player that it happened to like that was Jose Montes. Yuck.
Okay.
And Yuck was an animal, man. He was a player and a half.
Yeah.
How do you cut a guy like that?
Yeah. And then you had Handy. Yeah.
Abraham, Manny Flores. The list goes on and on and on,
What was the other guy's name? The third baseman that year.
Jess Moreno was super fast in the outfield.
Ninja.
The third baseman?
Was it
Manny Flores?
Manny Flores.
Yeah, Manny Flores is a player, man.
Yeah, shout out to all those guys out there. You had some amazing players and teams, and so moving forward, after all those years, being at San Fernando, and you had to go through what you had to go through, Roberto Ramos, and
my guy.
we forgot about we left him out.
My guy. Yeah.
2011 hits. You end up being coach of the year, and you end up getting your first city title as a coach.
Right? Yeah, I was like monkey off my back, man. Man, you know what I tell you, it's funny. You guys could probably relate to it too.
Now.
Yeah, relate to it too. No, that if I go back from 96 to then,
Yeah.
or to my last year,
Yeah.
that wasn't even close to being our best team.
Damn.
Not even close. I mean, that first year's team was legit.
Yeah.
And then we had Bacha was in there. We had great teams then. Then we got the Just Moreno and Yuck and that group. They were good, and so you not necessarily win with the best team that you've had, It's just you got to get a break. You got to get a break. It's just something happens. The ball hits the base and bounces over the first baseman's head. You guys score the winning run.
Yeah.
You got to have some luck.
We were just talking about that last week, Lira, with Coach Chevy from Agura. I mean, with Southern Section, Harvard Westlake has a 2 seed, but they traveled to Bonita, and Bonita's field wasn't the greatest, And I mean, I talked to my son. He's like, "Yeah, Dad, it's like they had a chain link fence. The crowd was crazy. They had a student section, stuff that we're probably not used to out here, And the dirt wasn't the greatest, whatever it is. You know what I mean? So, go ahead, Ender.
Yeah, no,
take it away.
That's where it's like you go and you don't know what can happen, so you got to try to prepare for everything. And sometimes those teams where you'd like on our end, right? You get let's say we were a number 6 seed or whatever it is, and we get to come. You got to come to our field, and sometimes we need that break where some teams, good teams, are not used to these fields, are not used to that, but we are.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go and try to take advantage of that, and a lot of that was like when I was in San Fernando, and I kind of brought that over to Birmingham was. A lot of the talking, a lot of the let's get after it, right? Because especially in that East Valley League, it's a bunch of rah going on.
Yeah.
And then some of these guys like El Camino or some of these guys are not used to that. So you try to bring that on, and you go, and then you try to get that break. So going back to what he says, like these breaks could be anything. It doesn't even have to be a break on the field or a break.
I mean, if you have a playoff game at Marshall High School, good luck.
Yeah.
That hill and center is no joke. We were out there. We played them in the non-league one year, and Matt did a great job of scheduling a game, a non-conference game, non-league, just to go get used to their field. And I mean, it was my first year there. And
I used to play Banning. John Gonzalez is a very good friend of mine, but I played Banning every year in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, you did.
Because it's intense there.
Yeah.
It's intense there. They have the big old Samoans on the left field talking all kinds of nonsense.
Yeah.
So it's playoff atmosphere in the beginning of the year. First or second game, and you got to be battle tested. You
do. That's a key word right there.
Yeah.
Battle tested.
Battle tested. If you're battle tested,
yeah.
None of the other stuff's going to even matter.
Yeah.
And like I told Matt too, because I saw Matt all fired up that one year, the first year you guys won it against Narbonne. He was all fired up. He was going crazy. And I said, Matt, you know what? Let me give you some advice. And he's like, what advice you going to give me? And then I said, just listen to me, man. Just listen to me. The calmer that you are, the better your players are going to play. And I learned that, man. And I learned that because I was, me, I was fiery all the time,
Yeah.
But in the playoffs, I'm calm. If you saw a video of Dodger Stadium or at SC, calm as can be. and I did that
right
because I knew my players performed better when I was calm.
Absolutely.
No, that's true. Yeah. But so after seasons after seasons after seasons, good teams after good teams, we couldn't get it done. But then in 2011, you got it done. How did that feel? Like, how did that make you feel?
Oh man, it was a big relief, because that was our goal. You know what? League titles wasn't even our goal. League titles wasn't our goal. Never was our goal. Our goal was to win the city title.
What is that?
Yeah, I mean, right? It gives you maybe a higher seed or something, but look at in 11, we were the 12th seed.
Man, we dropped 2 to Granada this week, and Granada wins the league, and we come in second. But
you know what? You guys have been battle tested. What is Again, I'm not bad mouthing Granada.
No. Shout out to them. Coach Hughes does a great job out there, man.
Yeah, he does. But
class act, by the way, really class act.
Yeah, his guys, for some reason, every year in the playoffs, they choke it off, and bad break or whatever, they run into a good pitcher or something. That's the other thing, that you run into a good pitcher and that'll make the difference right away.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean,
You know,
you never know.
that's all part of the game.
Yeah, you never know if it's ball four, ball four, and the winning runs, at first base, and all of a sudden the pass ball hits at Birmingham. And
I mean,
that's
I
a
can
big
tell
backstop.
you guys the last Birmingham game that we lost, you guys, man, how the umpire called timeout, went over there in between innings, and was told by another umpire to squeeze us in the last inning.
Whoa, man, look at that.
Wow.
Hey.
But
And then we end up losing that game. I'm like, what the hell just happened, man?
Yeah, that one happened real fast there.
no, we'll get to that one too. We'll get to that one too.
Man, that happened real fast. But so 2011, you're at USC against, was it batting?
El Camino.
El Camino. We have Lira's brother on the bump.
That's all you got to say is Lira.
Lira's brother on the bump.
That
dude.
David is one of my all-time favorites. I have some favorites on the bump. Stephen Pujols was one of my favorite. Lira, maybe because they reminded me of myself being left-handed and pitching with that spunk that they pitch with. But I knew every time David had the ball, it was a W no matter what. We were going to win. We won that game just by him being on the bump.
I mean, the way my brother and I talk about it a lot. The way he would walk off that mound at the third out that was it. I was like, this dude's confidence is up the roof. Like, you're not gonna hit me. You're not gonna hit him. And
calling a game for him was the easiest because wherever I called it, and he knew that we were on the same page all the time. I said, Lira, look. And he goes, Coach, in the beginning, I think I should throw it. I said, listen to me, man. This is what we're gonna do.
Right.
All right? And this is what's gonna work. And I said, well, we'll try it your way. You want to try it your way? Let's try it your way. You'd get hit a little bit, right?
Right.
So then that's, because I don't want to give up all my secrets, but it's the way you call a game too.
Yeah.
That's
For sure.
that's the key. And I love going reverse book. And I'm going to give my secret out right now. I go reverse book, and people knew it, but you still got to hit it.
Yeah. We always say, what's coming, but you got to still hit the ball.
Yeah.
And that's where.
And that's, when you got a pitcher that can put it wherever you want it.
Yeah.
Wherever you call it, 99.9, it's there.
Yeah.
Makes it real easy. And that was Lira. And then after the game, it kind of fired me up because I had 106 pitches on my chart, and I don't screw up on my chart, right? And then Sondheimer starts accusing me of 138 pitches and whatever. This and that.
The top number of the night was 160.
Yeah.
I was like, Teddy's 160. I know one person that would want to do that would be David, but I didn't think that you were going to let him do that.
His life though,
and he wasn't even tired.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't tired. He could have kept going.
I mean, I was there, and I remember watching him in the dugout, like up, still hyped up and I think he was throwing in the dugout, like playing light catch in there. I'm like, man, this guy is.
He's a trip.
Yeah,
that's David.
That was a historic game.
And you know what? He brought out the best in everybody else too. And
yeah,
he led by example. And that's the thing. You got to have a leader.
Yeah.
That you have to have a leader. Because the teams that we weren't successful, we didn't have real leaders. But a real leader is David Lira. I mean, he led by example. I didn't have to go tell him to run. He was running right after the last out. He wouldn't even be in our talk. He'd be running, right?
Right.
And so when somebody dogged it, oh man, he would let them have it.
As he should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the player couldn't say anything. Like,
right.
you know how kids are now.
Yeah.
But they couldn't say anything because he led by example and he was 110% all the time.
So you go 2011, win a city title, you get the coach of the year. So not only did you get that monkey off your back by winning after all those years, and like Lira said, after all those, not only the teams you had, but the players that have gone through San Fernando, a historic high school, and you win it, and then you get coach of the year. I mean, how did that feel?
That was the best honor ever.
Yeah.
Because we were like the Cinderella story. We were the 12th seed. We had to beat the number 4 seed, 3, 2, 1. To win it.
Wow.
And it's never been done before in City Section. If you go back and look at it, it's never been done. And that even made it even more special. And then I wasn't expecting all the stuff that we were getting, right? That was on a Saturday. Wednesday, I get a call. I'm in the clubhouse, and I get a call from George Lopez. And I'm like, shut the, I said, this ain't George Lopez. And then he said, yeah, coach, it's George Lopez. And then I recognized his voice. I was like, oh, man, it is George. I said, hey, what's going on? Sorry, man. People have been calling me, messing with me, for days.
Yeah.
And, he reached out and he goes, I want to do something special for the kids. And that's how he paid for the rings and stuff for both years. And
shout out to George Lopez out there.
yeah,
man,
big
out.
heart, great
Really
guy, does so much for the community.
Yeah. And
So
that's
much-
huge what he did for the kids.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we have a couple of them at Birmingham, and we got a fundraise. And,
Yeah,
and
it was funny because we got the ring guy in,
Yeah.
that did all the rings for the school and stuff and all that, the Letterman jackets, and so we got him in, and he goes, "When do you want to have a meeting, Coach?" He was calling me right away. I said, "As soon as possible." And that Wednesday, we had the meeting right before George Lopez called me, right?
Right.
And the kids were hesitant, man. They were hesitant to buy a ring, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, this probably will never happen again.
Right.
I said,
You never know when you're going to get back there.
Yeah, I
And-
said, so, man, you can go collect cans. We're going to have a little bit of time before you have to pay for it. You can
Right.
pay in payments or whatever,
Right.
I had to convince some of our kids to do it.
Wow.
So that's when he called me. I said, well, look, this is what happened. We just had our meeting at lunch, and some of the kids were a little hesitant,
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I got it. How much is it? And I told him roughly. Then he goes, I got it. Get the invoice and send it to my secretary, and it'll get taken care of. But I want one. I said, what order do you want? What size finger do you have?
We'll get you one for you, your family, anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, man. Shout out to George Lopez out there, and what he did for the kids. That's big time.
Yeah, and
That's
then you
awesome.
got like the alumni, right? Like you got George Lopez, but then you had all these guys like Miguel Gonzalez, all these other guys coming out of nowhere, and coming back and supporting the high school, and that just showed you like how united at Dodger Stadium they had the Banda playing, like it was huge, bro.
Yeah.
It was like something that it's never been. Like that moment, I don't know. I was barely a freshman in high school, but it was like, hey, I never seen this before. Like
Great atmosphere.
great atmosphere in Dodger Stadium. So the alumni come out strong.
You know that the city section came up to me before the game and said, you can't have that band. I said, what do you mean I can't have that band? That's our school band. They didn't want to let the band play.
No,
And it was
I'm
a-
laughing because I
it was
can
our
already
school
see you
band.
telling these guys, like, what do you mean? That's their school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So you brought them in. They came in.
They came. They
Yeah,
were
they're
coming to
part
the
of
game no
the-
matter what.
they're
They were
students.
representing,
Yeah.
So-
So you went in 11, and you're back in 2013.
Well, 12 we lost at SC to Chatsworth because we didn't execute a squeeze and we couldn't get a fly ball.
See, there you go. Man. We talked
We would
about
have won it 3 years in a row.
We talked about situational hitting and how important the bunting is out there.
So kids, you got to get them to buy into it. And how I got our guys to buy into it is, I don't care if you're third hitter, fourth hitter, whatever, 5 hitter.
Yeah.
And we have this disagreement on our street talkers all the time, They're like, nah, coach, if they can hit. I said, no. Number 4 hitter is going to bunt. You know that our number 9 hitter, both those years that we won it, the number 9 hitter was our catcher, Freddie Flores, and then Miguel. And they led the team in RBIs that year.
Wow.
Freddie led the team in RBIs as the number 9 hitter. And he knew his job. Every time he got up there, there's a guy on third. He's dragging. I mean, he's squeezing. And I didn't even have to give him the sign.
Thinking about that, it was true. He butted a lot. Damn, he did.
Yeah.
He led the team in RBIs.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's how huge bunting is, right?
Yeah, it's
I mean,
crucial. And see, my first couple years, and I think that was the turning point in my coaching career, is that I wanted our guys to swing it, and I let them swing it. And when we were not scoring runs and we're letting them swing it, well, we got to do something about it,
Right. No, definitely.
And that's when I went to bunting. And bunting, everybody knew I was going to bunt.
Yeah.
Everybody knew it.
It's,
They didn't know
can you
what
defend
pitch.
it? Can you defend it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can you,
You
make
know,
them play
the one
catch?
year I forget what year it was, what Adam Gary was, he was a great pitcher at Kennedy.
Yeah.
And we were playing at Birmingham. And we had to get off Laurel Canyon right there at the freeway because the bus driver ran out of time. He couldn't drive us to school. We got out. We didn't care. We won the game, right? We walked from the off ramp to back to school.
Wow.
And that day we squeezed on Kennedy 5 pitches in a row.
Man.
And you know what? After 1 or 2, you would think they would be calling it. 5 pitches in a row, we successfully got it down.
We're going to get into the Kennedy San Fernando in a little bit, by the way. I think, Manny Alvarado did an amazing job there as well.
Yeah,
we got to get him in here.
Yeah.
Got to get him in here. That'll be a good one to have here. Two back-to-back legends. That'll be nice. But
Absolutely.
yeah, no, man. So 2013, you're back there, and you win it again. You win it all.
With a little bit of different team. We still had some guys. We had a couple guys. We had
Haros, I think.
Haros and Robles. Was Robles?
Carlos Robles, I think so.
Yeah, Carlos. We had a
Carlos,
couple guys.
lefty,
Yeah,
25. Absolutely, I remember him.
We had a couple guys that were leftovers from that team.
Roberto Ramos,
and then Roberto came
Ramos,
in,
yeah.
and
he definitely came in.
yeah, he came in. That was a blessing.
Yeah.
I love that kid. You know, he lived with me for 3-4 years, and
Yeah.
we went. You know, my family. We went back to his wedding last November to Mexico. So
Oh, nice.
That was beautiful, man. Party
bet.
like rock stars, man. It
Yeah, I
was
bet.
4 days of partying, man. With the band. Talk about banda. He had this guy. With one of his buddies. He's a professional singer over there.
Yeah.
And they say that his dad's bigger than Mona Ayala and them over in Mexico.
What?
Yeah. What's his name? Freddie.
Man.
Freddie Pena Jr., I think.
Okay.
But so Freddie Pena, the dad, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, but having Roberto, like they would hate on Roberto, you know, because his transcripts, you know, his his class from Mexico, like Haros and them would hate on him, and we had a lot of friction. And one day, man, we said we're going into the bungalow after practice. We went in the bungalow, man. Parents were blowing their horn, blowing their horn. We were in that meeting for 2 hours, and everybody had to say something. Whatever was on their mind, whatever, you know, if they thought somebody was dogging it or whatever, everybody got called on whatever, you know. Even the coaches got called on stuff. I'll never forget this Adonis Rodriguez, the nicest kid, you know, the magnet kid. When it was his turn to talk, he says, "Coach, I want you to yell at me. You've never yelled at me in 4 years." I said, "You're a great kid. How you want me to yell at you?" You know,
Right.
but he just wanted to get yelled at. This was a trip. You
That's
know?
funny. Who was the starting pitcher that game?
Esparza.
Esparza.
He went CG. He went complete game. It's never been done, I don't think.
And in
I know
the
we
first
went CG
inning,
last
in the
year-
first
last year.
inning, he almost didn't get out of that first inning, and I had to go out there. And Sondheimer asked me what I told him when I went out there.
So I can't share that.
Yeah, I can't share that.
You can't share that. No way.
But yeah, you know, I had some antics to tell him stuff, and you know, the team was trying to come. The team was trying to come to the mound. I said, "Get out of here, go back to your positions." And I had just me and Mondo, man. And I told him, I said, "Hey, you transferred here because you wanted to win a city title, and everybody here in this stadium is watching you right now shit the bed. Right? What are you gonna do about it?" And then I told him something else, and he looked behind home plate. He was like looking. I said, "Can't you see? Look what's at home plate." I said, "You win this game, you can pick any one of them."
Oh wow.
And he just
Yeah.
Good for him, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
And I seen him at COC too, as far as I was talking to him a little bit there. But
yeah, Mondo's a good dude. That he's a gamer.
Yeah. No.
and
Shout
that was
out
against
to.
Cleveland, right? Sam's
I was
on
against
Nevada.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam's
yeah.
on water, man.
Yeah, and I still trip on Venger on that. Every time I see Venger, I said, "Venger, why would you pitch to Roberto Ramos, dude, with the base open? Why would you pitch to him?"
He swung with the whole
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he didn't believe it any other.
And he knocked in both runs with base hits.
He did.
Why would you pitch to him?
That kid's that guy. He was a freak of nature, man. He's always
he
pointing
should
out.
be in the bigs right now, man.
He should be.
He should be in the bigs.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully he'll get a shot in the next year or two. I mean, he's running out of time, but
Yeah.
the Rockies dogged him.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. So you have some good players go through the San Fernando
And then so
Tigers.
going back to the winningest coach in history, that's why, you know, you can have 1,000 wins, but you got to have players that get those wins, you know?
Yeah.
I would like to say that, you know, it's my coaching, you know. No, it's never, you know.
Right.
It's part of it. It's all
Yeah,
part of it, you know.
absolutely.
It's the system, and everything else has to fall in place. But if you don't have players, you're not going to win anything.
Yeah, but it's like going back to you said.
You got
it's
to
a little
develop
bit,
them.
little bit different of those two teams right there, right? What was the difference between the 2011 team and 2013 team?
I think the 2011 team, because they had played together for so long, you know, with the Valley Cats, that those guys, and they played. They were battle tested. They were battle tested big time, right? They play all these big tournaments and whatever. and they were like all brothers, man. That whole team was like brothers, man. They would call each other out on things, man. It was a trip watching that. You know?
That was a big reason why
Go
Isaac.
Oh, that's my all-time favorite.
Yeah, Isaac was a dog. He was, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody thought he was too small, whatever, but he was a dog.
Dude, he thrived off that. When people said he was too small, he wasn't good enough, whatever, he thrived on that, you know?
Yeah.
And offensively, yeah, he wasn't what, and he didn't want to buy in on this, right? All he had to do was drag and push and get some base hits. I said, dude, your average is going to stay under 200 if you don't start doing that, you know? And he'd get lucky once in a while and catch a ball and hit in the gap for a double or triple. He's like, see, I told you I could hit. I said, well, how many at-bats we got to wait for the next one to happen, you know?
Wow.
But I'll tell you what, he saved the game at Dodger Stadium.
He did.
On that shot. The one bouncer off his chest, stayed with it, boom, the second, turned the double play to win the game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's
I
right.
do remember that.
Because they were coming back on us, boy. They were coming back on us.
Garcia.
Yeah.
What was his name? The second baseman?
Huddles.
It was
No.
Holmes.
Oh, it was David Garcia.
David
Yeah.
Garcia.
Oh, damn,
David
David
Garcia.
Garcia.
David
That's
Garcia.
right.
Man, I love that
And
kid
he was
too,
at
man.
Birmingham.
He was at Birmingham. He
He
played
played
football.
football.
He played football at Birmingham.
He had a heart
Yeah.
he had a heart of a lion, that dude.
He did. He really did. Yeah.
Kid was tough.
So moving on.
Man,
Obviously,
you're bringing back all kinds of names.
all
man.
kinds-
Yeah.
moving on
Pumping me up over here.
to the rivalry that good old San Fernando and Kennedy or San Fernando Silmar. Who do you think? Which is the biggest rivalry for you?
Kennedy was our
Kennedy?
biggest rival. Yeah, we went to Silmar knowing that we're going to play a good game, and they're going to play a good game, and the best team's going to win that game, right?
Right.
Because there was no talking nonsense. They weren't talking. You know, they weren't. You know, Ray did a great job. You know, and Ray and I were still very good friends. You know.
Yeah.
And Manny and I are very good friends. You know, but you know, some of the antics that he let slide, you know, with his players and the stuff that they did were, I mean, right now they'd probably say it's cheating, right? But it's I didn't think it was cheating. You know, they're picking signs, you know, they had a guy in the snack bar picking signs through the window and whatever. I mean, hey, whatever,
Damn, really?
you know?
Wow.
Yeah, that's how they were getting signs, dude.
I think that's awesome.
It wasn't at second base getting the signs. It was at the snack bar.
Yeah.
I think that's great, man.
Wow.
No,
Or
yeah,
against the
that's-
fence right there, and they see the shadow, you know, and that's why, man, I was constantly telling her, get your hand, you know, and then because I'd be hawking like, where are they getting it from, you know, and it's sure enough, and then so they were looking. The guys on the fence were looking down in the window, and I think they were telling them, you know, this is whatever they were telling them, man.
some good. You had some good matchups there.
Oh, very good matchups.
I mean, between you and Kennedy. I mean, shout out to Coach Manny and Coach Ray at Silmar. Ray still there does a great job. I mean, I think they're going to be top four this year. They're going to be top four.
Yeah, either if not 4 or 5. We got them on our Street Talkers. We got them at 5.
What do you have for?
We had
Bell?
yeah.
Bell?
Yeah.
That might be it. Yeah.
We had Birmingham 1, and then after yesterday or whatever, we had to switch it. And I originally said, look, whatever that game, because they said, well, we can't say that yet because they still got to play. I said, come on, man. Birmingham's won it. You know, they're playing Granada. Granada's going to choke it off, whatever, right? And so I even had the arrows on the I've scratched paper, right? We're doing it as we're doing the talk show. We did it. That's why we got all into that we didn't even do the podcast that day. That's why we had to come back yesterday and do it.
Oh man.
So, and then we did the Division 1. You know, the Division 1, I had it in my car too. I should have brought it up. Division 1's going to be, I think it's going to be more competitive than the Open.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's open in Division 1, right?
Yeah.
But there's 30 teams. All 30 teams make it.
Yeah.
So then, but they just go into the open or Division 1. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like when I
Yeah.
don't know,
Back in the days, it was
like-
4A, 3A.
Yeah.
So 16 team, right? 16?
Yeah. So 12. So
That's 12.
12 go in the Open, and then some of those the 12 are easy to pick, right? But then towards the end, it gets light. It gets light right there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And a lot's going to depend on what happens today with Paulie and Cleveland,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it could knock Paulie down.
It can. my boy Cerno out there, man. Dave Cerno doing an amazing job.
With Freddie, yeah.
Trying to bring him in next week. We'll see if that it depends what happens today, I guess, huh? He's probably gonna be pissed off. He's gonna be like, or if he wins.
Make him come in. You know what?
No,
Even
we
an
had
assistant coach under me. He knows how
he knows the
it works.
system.
Yeah, he knows how it works. Come on.
So you had some good games against Kennedy and Silmar, and obviously, the winner of that league, ends up in the playoffs, and Manny has a few city titles as well.
Oh yeah, Manny did a great job over there.
And Ray got his,
and he got dogged out too. It's just amazing how things have changed now. With parents being involved so much, trying to be involved so much, and they don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, that's the next question, right, Lira?
Yeah, no, that's the parents nowadays, right? Like the coaching now, like from when you first started to now, like parents be more involved or feeling like they need to have more say for their kids instead of having their kids come out and play. Like, how has that changed for coaching nowadays?
Well, a lot of coaches. I just saw something on Twitter on a coach that played high school baseball, very successful player. I forget what his name was. Played college ball. He played in the bigs, and now he's coaching. Mm-hmm. And a dad wrote, you know what? This is ridiculous how these parents are getting involved. A parent from that program was defending the coach, right? Because all these parents were bad mouthing him and whatever. And he's like, I don't let the parents get involved,
Yeah.
But then you tell them, you have a parent meeting, you explain your philosophy, you explain all that stuff. And then when little Johnny's not getting playing time, whatever, then something starts up,
Yeah, it's tough nowadays, man.
And I'll tell you the year it changed. 2015 is when it changed. I have never been called into the principal's office ever in my years. In my early years, I was crazy sometimes. But it was the first game of the season. We played Culver City. We lost 3-2. It was the year that Kai transferred over. And the next day, I was called in the principal's office, and I said, Mr. Lee, over the radio, I said, I hope it's important because we're busy right now. We're doing tardy lockout, whatever, right? And I need to see you in the office, Gomez. I go over there. I'm like, wow, what's going on, man? I wonder what happened. And he says, have a seat. Uh-oh. So I sit down in his office, and then he starts telling me, he goes, this is a verbal warning, he tells me. I said, and I'm thinking, what the hell is he talking about, right? He said, I got an anonymous email last night from a parent said that you dropped 4 or 5 F-bombs at the game. I said, anonymous? I got up and I left. He goes, Gomez, come back. I turned around and I threw my keys at him. Boom, a big old bunch of keys, right?
Yeah.
And he was like shocked. I said, you know what? Let me tell you something, Mr. Lee. There's a lady that sits down the left field line. After the game, I saw her. I took my team out in center field, and that was like the first time in like 10 years that I took the team out in center field to talk to them. Mm-hmm. And I saw the lady coming down the left field line, like she was trying to beat me to the dugout. She was coming like this, right? Mm-hmm. And I said, the only person I'm going to take any heat from is that lady that was coming down the left field line. And he's looking at me like, and she comes over and says, you are getting soft. All your old players tell you you're getting soft. You're getting soft. You only ran them 12 sprints from third, from foul line to second base. 12 sprints, and you're getting soft after that disaster. And that person ended up being my wife, right?
Right.
So, and then I tell him it was my wife, and he was shocked. He goes, "All right, go back to work." And I left. I picked up my keys on the other side of the desk, and I went back to work, right?
Oh, Mondo.
But a parent, and I told him, I said, I know what parent that is, and when she shows up today, I'm going to jump her ass. So when the parent showed up, I said, I don't want to name names, but I said, do you know that somebody sent an anonymous email? I said, and I know what parent it is. I know what parent it is, and that kid, their kid's not going to play one more inning the rest of the year. Then it was up to the first game, right? The parent was the parent that I was telling that to.
Wow.
I know it was.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's hard nowadays.
And what's ironic about that is she had more than one kid in the program. Mm-hmm. And the last one, it was the last kid, and maybe I was getting softer, but it's not that you're getting softer. You're changing because of what's going on around you,
Yeah,
Like in my early years, Dads used to come and tell me, man, you can kick my kid's ass, man. You got permission to put hands on him, do whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the way I was raised, you know? Our coach would snatch us up and slam us and do all kinds of stuff, you know?
No, you can't.
But you can't do it. You can't even yell at a kid now.
That's
you
a
yell
lawsuit.
at a kid.
That's a lawsuit.
Yeah, you yell at a kid. You're gonna be suspended. You're gonna be at teacher jail or whatever.
Yeah, no, definitely.
You know, it's ridiculous, and that's why high school sports is starting to get watered down in the city section a little bit, more so than the CIF, because the administration, the district, isn't backing up the coaches.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. It's tough. It's tough. You know, I mean, you know, Birmingham, we're over there, you know, doing our thing, and I mean, I get it. Matt does a good job, and you know, I mean, that administration, Rick Prezant, and all of them, you know. So
see, that's like the last of the Mohicans, dude. That they get it, right? They get it as they, you know, all the stuff that I'm hearing that's going on at Kennedy and a little bit of San Fernando, or whatever, is because those administrators, they don't have any idea what high school sports is, you know.
Yeah. And you know, student athletes we're talking about. You know, these kids, you know, I mean, they're amazing students, but
you gotta hold them accountable.
Yeah.
If there's no accountability, you're not gonna have a successful, respectful, you know, young man.
Right.
Because when it gets tough, and he's counting pennies to pay his mortgage, whatever, he's just gonna let the mortgage go.
Right.
Because he hasn't been battle tested. You know, it's all about growing up, being mature, being responsible, everything else.
Yeah.
And they're taking that away from the coaches by letting parents go in there and complain, you know?
Yeah.
That's another thing too, is like, I think everybody forgets you're coaching baseball, but you're building men too, you know, and everybody out there you go through what you go through, and then later in life, right, I'm one of them where you realize like, damn, all these things that were happening in high school, it's coming back and it's a full circle now. Like 6 years later, right? You wish you had that full circle in high school, but
it's reality. I tell the kids all the time, if you don't get it done in the classroom, reality is going to slap you so hard upside your head, that you're not going to know which way to go.
Yeah. Now we spend time with these kids throughout the year. You're talking about August or September off season, all that, you know, to maybe June, you know, when the title's over, and I mean, we see these kids more than we see our families. And,
yeah.
You know,
they spend, and see, that's the thing. It's these parents try to get involved when we spend more time, building their kid and molding their kid than they do as parents.
Yeah.
So how can they sit there and come back and badmouth you? You know?
Yeah.
Because if you ask the kid, and 100% honesty, if you ask the kid, should you be playing? No. Why? Because of this, that guy's playing better than me, you know, I'm not executing whatever. The kids know it.
Yeah.
It's the parents that's ego gets involved. You know?
It's tough. What do they say? You hit, you don't sit. You bunt.
You got a bunt.
You got a bunt out there.
You got a bunt or you're not playing.
Shout out to all the tournament directors out there that do a great job for the travel baseball. Shout out to the fan bam, wife and kids, my brother keeping the streets safe. Shout out to our Braves players, coaches, and parents. Our sponsor, Lira. Who's our sponsor?
Our sponsor for today?
Braves Baseball Academy.
Braves Baseball Academy. That's the number one.
That's the number one sponsor.
Maybe Starbucks next. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
Starbucks. We'll
see.
see.
Get somebody in. Shout out to Coach Sam behind the scenes. And happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. All the Hispanic moms. Today's May 10th. Happy Mother's Day to everyone.
Feliz Dia de las Madres.
Feliz Dia de las Madres, and I hope everyone enjoys their Mother's Day on Sunday. It's a big day. They don't get one, but they get two. You know, some moms, and it's a big, huge day. But yeah, no, Armando, we're coming down to an end here. But Lira, you want to talk about anything else or ask Coach Mondo? I know you helped us out in 2014. we didn't get to that, but 2014, I remember your son Kai coming to Birmingham and dropping off a piece of paper to us and the report. And believe it or not, it helped us tremendously to get our first title. Lira, you got that ring on?
I do have that ring. I do.
Yeah, that was the 2014 ring.
It was, but
Talk about your record. What was our record?
19 and 14. It was, what they always say, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah, that's
19 and 14.
Yeah,
you got to get that.
You got hot at the right time.
Exactly.
You got to have a break again. You got to have a break somewhere.
Yeah,
and add some luck.
Yeah. That's like, it's also buying in. I think a lot of us didn't really buy in very early in. You have a bunch of egos and guys this, guys that, and then you realize like, hey, we're like we had a lot of seniors on that team.
We did.
So we're like, damn, dude, this is our last, and this is how we're gonna go out. Like I know the year before that we lost to University. We played Marshall at Marshall.
Yeah, we did.
We beat them there, but then we lost to University, I believe. So it's like
that was a turning point for Birmingham baseball.
It was.
You guys just shot out of the cannon like no other, man. I'm happy for you guys, man. You guys have done a great job.
2014, then we go back to USC 15. 15 we lose to El Camino at Elko in the quarterfinal. And then we go 16, we lose to El Camino at USC, right? And then we go 17, 18, 19.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Is like in 2014, you had a lot of freshmen there too on the team, like Ivan Lamelli and all these guys that were able to get through those to experience that with the seniors, and then you had a lot of juniors like Adrian and Russo.
Yeah,
and then get you through.
That is crucial that those guys were around it and see it and taste it.
Yeah,
and then they get that taste in their mouth, and they know what it tastes like, and they want it.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And it's building that culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like once you get that winning culture in there, you don't want to get out of it. And obviously Birmingham has got out of it.
And what happens? You work twice as hard as a coach.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you got to step your game up because you know what? You know what that feels like, and you know that you got a big old target on your back. Everybody's coming at you because they want to get you.
We've been on both sides. I mean, I've been on both sides of it. Obviously, getting to USC and you're knowing that you're one game away from getting to Dodger Stadium, and right there, probably anything can happen. Let me tell you, because that's a stadium you're playing at. You never know. And then going back to 22 a couple years ago, Chats where they beat us, and going home, it's like I'm so used to going to go celebrate after, and it's like, man,
everybody waiting for you at school.
Waiting for you at school.
Man, at 11, we couldn't even get the bus down Chamberlain, man. The softball field was packed with people. The outfield was packed. The soccer field was packed. I mean, everywhere I looked, there was people packed. Dude, they're all partying.
Your phone blowing up.
Oh my God, dude! My head was gonna blow up, dude. And everybody, and Agora was waiting for me. The baby Tiger team, all the parents and stuff over at Latigo Kid, and Mike Sosha told his wife, if Coach wins it, I got the first round on everybody.
Man, Mike Sosha.
Yeah, Mike Sosha bought the first round. And nobody would let me leave. I said, I gotta go, man. Everybody's waiting for me at my house. My family's waiting for me, and they blocked me out. I said, dude, I'm gonna ram your cars, man. It's awesome. Yeah, so. That feeling, you get that feeling. You want that feeling all the time.
All the time, and you get so close, but yeah, you're so far. It's like, so yeah. I mean, playoffs start next week, next Friday. We got, Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday, the first round, and then Friday. I know the CIF is
gotta run
Southern sections today, the quarterfinals.
Yeah, they're almost done.
They're almost done. So
they start so early.
Yeah, but
one thing that I forgot to mention, people have been asking me and stuff. I'm waiting for my transcripts right now because I thought I had copies in my file.
That's right.
But I didn't have them, but I'm gonna throw my name in the hat at Mission College. So
there you go,
man.
There you go.
We'll see what happens. I talked to the AD already, so I just need to get my transcripts. Hopefully they'll come in Monday or Tuesday so I can finish the process.
Wow.
And then see what happens.
Hopefully all goes well for you, Mondo. Mission College. That'd be
a big pickup.
That'd be a good fit for you, Mondo.
Mission College,
Yeah.
I'm
excited.
Good luck with that.
I really hope I get it because I think I can turn that thing around and make it a powerhouse with all the players around.
So what you're trying to say, are you looking for coaches?
I might be looking
for coaches. So yeah, man. Yeah. So go ahead, Lira. Hit him with the.
Yeah. So we got a new segment now, pretty much, right? Like we're trying to do something at the end, add a little more things here and there. So we have what we call trivia, right? So it's gonna be like rapid fire questions where you can answer with one or two words with it. So we got like 5 questions right now that I have for you. Which rivalry would you run it back with again, Kennedy or Sylmar?
Kennedy.
Okay. Who's your favorite baseball team?
The Dodgers.
Dodgers. Okay. And then who was your favorite between 2011 and 2013 on the baseball teams?
Both.
Both. Okay. So if you had to choose one, you wouldn't be able to do it.
No, they both of them. Each team had a different kind of character.
Hey, both teams got a Marine.
And both got a ring, so
Yeah.
I can't say one or the other.
Yeah.
Okay. And then probably the last one here. Who's your favorite athlete of all time?
That I coached?
It could be like coach or you watched.
Francisco Enriquez.
Francisco Enriquez. I wish I knew who that was. I honestly don't know who that is. Yeah, anybody know? You know?
Actually, Francisco Enriquez / David Lira.
Oh, there you go.
All right, David. You know
We
what
know
David
Lira
is?
is.
David, man. You know what I mean?
Francisco Enriquez, I would say Google him.
Yeah.
I mean,
He was
maybe
a
he comes
dude?
up.
I'm gonna have to figure it out.
Pancho, dude.
Pancho. Oh.
Oh, Punch. Okay.
dude, I don't know anybody first names. It's always last names. You know, David Lira. I don't know about David no
Punch.
more. David Lira. It's
Shout out to
lefty.
Punch,
no,
man.
we know about
Yeah,
lefty.
yeah,
I go get coffee dips from him. Coffee pouches.
yeah.
Coffee pouches. And, for all you guys out there, go support All American Sports Shop on Winnetka and Satakoy. Punch. Yeah. Punch does a great job there, man. He does an amazing job.
He takes care of people all the time. Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
He
So,
does.
yeah. All right. Cool. Well,
You know, hey,
episode 2, right there. We're getting
episode
better.
2 down. Yeah,
We're getting better.
Of course.
You know? Mondo,
Starting-
again, thank
I
you.
think you guys are doing a great job. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you for
a
coming.
second episode, I tell you what, we with the baseball street talkers, we had some hiccups, and that's why he does the editing, but we get, it's fun, I'm glad you guys are doing this. This is a good thing.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it.
It's good
And,
for the valley. It's good for the kids to listen to it. You bring in some academic stuff that we've done some things on our show with the academics to show the parents to have an idea what A through G requirements are and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So the kids need to know all that.
Last question. Who do you have winning it?
This year,
Yeah.
Birmingham.
Oh, stop it. We call it the kiss of death.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got to think on target.
Oh, no.
God honest truth is I would love to see Silmar win it. But you guys have been dominating.
No.
Hey, man, Silmar won
Ray's
it.
got to get right. Ray's got to get over the hump.
Hey,
And,
man.
from all the things that I'm hearing, I talked to him on Friday a little bit. From all the things I'm hearing, he's got a good squad.
He's got a great
Yeah, but
squad.
they
We
won
beat him 1-0.
Yeah.
And that's not saying that, oh my God, we only beat him 1. No. They're good.
Yeah.
And they're senior heavy. They got guys on the bump, but we'll see what happens. I'm excited.
Silmar won open. Oh no, is it Division 1?
Division 1, yeah, it's Division
it's all
1.
right.
They won some Division 1.
But no, he does a
Kennedy
great.
last year, right?
They have a really good team. Oh shoot, yeah. Hey, we got a little something for you. Go ahead, Lira.
Yeah.
We got a little something for our guests that we do here.
Good. I don't even have a street talker's hat, so I'm gonna
See,
afford
look at
this.
this.
I'm
Look at
gonna afford
us.
this.
We already one upping. You know what I mean? It's one up over here. You know what I mean? Now we want to present you with a ball for baseball
Awesome.
hat. You know what I'm saying? Little snapback. So something that you can come in and
I'll sport it big time.
and
Well,
go
thank
and-
you, Mondo.
and wind up,
Appreciate
You
man.
it.
see me at the game sporting it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Thank you guys for listening for our second episode. Armando Gomez.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Till next time, maybe sometime next week. Could be Tuesday, maybe. Might not be Friday because we have our playoff game. So I'm gonna try to bring in a coach in here on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Could
no.
be Cerna.
Yeah, keep on the lookout for that and appreciate that again, man. Bringing back a little bit memories is always good. You know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what it's all
awesome.
about.
Cool. Thank you guys.